here, 3v3 faction war, Soproni, Brood, Layers, Space Marines versus Chaos. Blue team, Boris plays a Plague Champion, starts off range combat, can get melee weapons, good damage potential and utility, can repair and build turrets. Wild Bold alongside is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, fights melee to start off, has a bunch of spells. And Caeltos rounds out the Chaos team as a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through cover, cannot be suppressed, fights melee, good disruption and damage. Red team, we have max power as a force commander, gets this new helmet in this new version of the mod. Fights melee, quite versatile, can tank, disrupt and even support a little. Dark Riku alongside as a Techmarine, who also gets a new spiffy helmet. Fights range, puts out some nice damage, can also build structures and can get a melee weapon, of course, in the elite mod. Sneakus Peekus rounds out red team as an Apothecary support commander, fights melee, has a target heal and passive health regeneration aura, can get a ranged weapon too. Seems to have some new Iron Halo type thing on his back there. This is RC6 better, Wild Bold, charging his heretics in, overextended them and loses the squad here, I think. Yes, how dare he, that's my move. Losing your heretics in first engagement is something I do over and over again. It's so tempting just to run them in there and get a Doom Blast, but they are so fragile in their default state, especially up against these 1050 HP tactical marines in the mod. Good first engagement for Space Marines then. Chaos Space Marines on the field for Boris. Wild Bold also is retreating his, and Caeltos now going for some havocs. Power Sword on the Force Commander early. Nice power weapon, very very cheap. I think it's only 120. Also buffs his battle cry. And the Plague Champion, if you didn't notice, gets his old appearance back, which is awesome. I loved it. Much preferred his face kind of falling apart there, and his off color scheme. Same deal with Plague Marines as well. Lots of changes in this new version, so I'm not going to remember them all. Check the official site for all of the changes. This is still better though, so expect the odd issue here and there, but we didn't really notice any during this session. Heretics trying to hit power here need to be very very careful, not taking as much damage as they would as they are in melee, so have a melee damage resistance aura, and now they retreat. Just got their aspiring champion there as well. Devastators were set up by Dark Riku. Here comes the Chaos Lord. Gonna try and close on those Devastators, but they set up in time and he's forced off. Would have probably been taken out if he tried to charge. Cannot be suppressed, but still takes the full damage as he gets closer. 416, 496, an early lead for the Space Marines, but it is a single. It's going to be a double here as well. It's a pretty decent map, but we do have some very very natural victory points right in the corners, and we have a triple cap for Chaos. Would have much preferred if the 3 victory points were spread across the center here and none of them were natural. Would have been much more balanced play, I think. As the map is not right now, you see a lot of play in the center. Look at this, Chaos with a triple. Raptors jumping in and suppressing these tactical marines. Can they get a model off these guys? Not quite. They are now suppressed by those Devastators, and still can I get a model off them? Finally they do, in range. I think the Havocs did that. Chaos Sorcerer lets loose some Doom Bolts, which are pretty powerful now in the mod. I don't remember them being so nasty. Chaos Space Marine is caught in melee and he loses a model. Should have retreated them much earlier. Here come aspiring champion Heretics to suppress those ASM. Big special attack though by the Force Commander, knocks them flying. And we see 2 Assault Marine squads. Those Havocs of Caeltos will need to be very very careful. Raptors for both Wild Bold and Boris. Boris also with double Chaos Space Marines, so he has a pretty versatile and nasty tier 1 force. No war gear that I can see, apart from that power sword for the Force Commander. And look at this, Space Marines being very sneaky with their scouts. It's going to be a huge bonus for the Space Marines having these very, very quick scout units to ninja decap the natural victory point. Chaos don't really have a fast unit that can cap. Havoc's forcing the Force Commander back there. 416, 390 kicking off on this west side. Raptors jumping in, as you may have noticed, they get the Noise Marine cacophony sound when they jump in now. Just a new sound effect for them. A heal on those Tactical Marines keeps them up. That's the power of the Apothecary right there. And the Raptors lose a model. Raptors aren't as tough as your Assault Marines, so you do need to look after them a bit more. 403, 390, a 2-to-1 cap now for the Space Marines. Dark Riku already tier 2, already getting a plasma cannon on the field. Heretics in amongst this. In their default state though, that was a very, very risky engagement, and they'll be lucky to get away here. Might jump those Assault Marines after them, try and finish them off, but does not. Gets another heal and is now going to harass power. I think he has Tactical Marine Flamers all kicking off in the middle though. Havoc suppressive from long range. Raptors jumping in. Devastators are right there though. All of this stuff suppressed by the Raptors jump. Force Commander in amongst them though with that power sword ripping through the heavy armor, takes out a model, and we have some scout snipers too. And it's a 2-to-1 cap for the Space Marines. 387, 390, very, very close at this point. Chaos Sorcerer in amongst, should be getting investments of the warp to counter this Devastator. I think there's some Doom bolts, couldn't get a scout model off. They were very, very split up there, and the Chaos Sorcerer goes down. 377, 390. Assault Marines jumping these CSM. These are Caeltos. Has he noticed? I don't think so. Still in combat here. Maybe he's trying to get a model off him, but can't quite do it and loses one as he retreats. Ouch. Here comes a Raptors suppressing the Force Commander and make him flee. Can Chaos retake the middle? Maybe not. Here comes a teleporter relay beacon from the Techmarine. Gives you that 15% range damage resistance, which is shown by this blue circle here below those models. Combine this thing with setup teams and a good infantry presence, and you can really, really hold an area really, really well. Meanwhile, Sneakus Peekus is completely wiping this power out. Can he even decap perhaps? Here comes Boris to defend up against Devastators though, needs his Raptors, and they are making their way down slowly but surely. Relay beacon up and a turret to back it up as well, and as you can see he's placed it so that it's covering this approach, but it's not covering this approach, so this is where the blue Chaos team will need to come in. They of course do not know that that turret is there right now. 331, 390, Assault Marines jump in, sorry, Raptors jump in. Devastators are suppressed. Raptors now under some Nurgle worship, forcing off all of those Space Marines. Whirlwind on the field for max power. This is such a great unit, fantastic disruption from long range. It's not the toughest thing and is reasonably expensive, but when you have a wall of infantry in front of it, it can be very difficult to take out. Sneakus Peekus wondering why those Raptors were not knocked down by that Assault Marine jump, which I also just noticed there. Not sure what happened. 305, 390. Bloodletters teleporting in. These are Caeltoses teleporting into a whole bunch of trouble. I don't think he knew that that turret was there, and he loses his Bloodletters straight away. Plasma Cannon gets a big hit. Assault Marines jumping in with their Sergeant, gets him a power sword. Heretics, Doom Blast and retreat, and a full retreat from the Chaos forces. Now they know they're up against artillery, setup teams, and a whirlwind and a turret. It's going to be very difficult for them to push. They need a bunch of Blast Masters, I think. 285, 390, Dark Riku. Just lost something, I'm not sure what. Chaos Lord backs off. Armour of the Inferno perhaps for him. Boris has a Blood Crusher. 276, 390. A demon with vehicle armor, quite quick, fights melee, decent damage versus all targets, but not the toughest thing around. Best used in very early tier 2. You have some push on the east side by Chaos. Chaos Space Marines lose a model. but do get away fine, and they decapped this wreck point. Force Commander's not capping it back, has the Power Fist now, which is 250 in Elite mod, which is where it should be. 254, 390. One thing that I don't think should be 250 is the Chaos Lord's Lightning Claws. I'm not sure why they are so expensive. 250 for a power weapon. Yes, it does 100 DPS, but so does his Blood Maul, which is 180 something or something like that. Librarian gets away. This is Sneakus Peekus. Raptors jumping in droves. Big push by the Chaos Forces. Tactical Marines with missile launcher tied up by the Blood Crusher, but the turret is still there, and they still have this 15% range damage resistance from that relay beacon, and they can reinforce around it, and it gives you health regeneration buff, of course. An amazing defensive structure, and Space Marines proving very, very difficult to break down in the center of the map. You have Marco Zinch, Chaos Space Marines for Wild Bold. That was Let the Galaxy Burn from the Chaos Lord. Melter Gun, Techmarine Melter Gun got a nice damage buff for the Techmarine. Really, really nasty this thing, which it should be, I think. It's close range. Chaos Lord unable to take down the Techmarine under turret fire, and Space Marines swarming middle. Here is Boris's Plague Champions gonna go down in retreat. Does have the awesome Plague Fist there. 203, 390 Space Marines running away with it. Can the Chaos Forces take mid? We saw a Noxious Cloud and some Chaos Space Marines take out the Techmarine there. Did not level the Chaos Space Marines. Very, very, very nearly level 2. And we see both commanders reviving the Techmarine. This will make them both level. Force Commander level 4, Apothecary level 3. Fully kitted out now. Power Axe, combat stims, and improved medical equipment. Heretics with Aspiring Champion bashing power. Looks like they took down one generator and now get jumped, but they were in retreat, so were not knocked down. And we have a Chaos Dreadnought from Wild Bold. This is Mark of Khorne. Turns it into a beastly close combat walker. I would have just kept it with the auto cannon, I think. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to negate this range damage resistance, but walking in a melee walker against this would be very, very dangerous with that Power Fist and Melter Gun, not to mention Tactical Marine missile launcher. Also have a Chaos Dreadnought from Caeltos. He's gone for Marco Zinch, perhaps trying to take out that relay beacon and that whirlwind and that turret quickly. Plague Champ is still down. We have Sniper Scouts level 2 getting their elite training, allows them to infiltrate. 149, 390. Librarian with his 4 staff here. Still level 1 though. Needs to be careful with him.
Your forces obey you.
Sneakus Peekus backing off, not pushing against the power. And we have double Mark of Khorne Havocs, gives them an autocannon. Autocannon got a damage buff in the newest version of Elite. Here comes the Chaos Lord. Gonna take a big hit from the plasma cannon. Direct hit on the Chaos Lord there. Sniper Scouts get a shot off and then back away. Nicely done from Dark Riku. And another direct hit. Here comes Wild Bold's, sorry, Caeltos' Chaos Dreadnought. There's Frenzied Barrage. Couldn't hit anything, I don't think. And Vanguard Veterans jumping in from max power with their Thunderhammer, Lightning Claw, and Power Swords. Very, very dangerous close combat unit. You can only have one on the field at a time. First Company Marines. Here come some Raptors who have their Aspiring Champion wiping out some Devastators there. This is a good push from Chaos. Here comes the Chaos Dreadnought. Doom Bolts goes in, nicely done. Devastator is set up and there is Blood Rage from the Chaos Dreadnought. Got its range significantly reduced, giving you a bit more control over the Chaos Dreadnought when it uses this. Reduced compared to retail, I mean. And down goes the Apothecary. An excellent push from Chaos. Need to support this Dreadnought though, or it will go down. You have Melter Gun And now here comes the Power Fist Force Commander with the Sacred Standard, and down goes the Dreadnought quick time. Also get a Metal Bomb on it, I think. Artificer Armor also for the Force Commander, who's level 5 and kicking some serious ass there. It's Dark Flames, global ability of the Chaos Sorcerer, who's sticking around here. Level 3 also has the Rod of Warpfire. Warpfire is awesome. There it is, used against the Vanguard Veterans and took down a model as well. Upgrading your squad to Vanguard or Stone Guard of course resets their level, so it's better to do it as quickly as you can. Here comes some tactical marines for Sneakus Peekus. 65 390, a huge VP lead for the Space Marines, but they did lose a lot there, although so did Wildbold. Wildbold now goes tier 3. Caeltos lost one of his Havocs, still has one with that Mark of Khorne. Boris now trying his hand with the Dreadnought, Mark of Khorne on it already. 58 390, very very sneaky heretics get away with 2 mod. We have a venerable Dreadnought on the field for Dark Riku, unique walker to the Techmarine, devastating in melee, quite tough too. 1750 hit points at level 1, global ability of the Techmarine. Relay Beacon is still here. It's such a strong structure now. Reinforcement, health buff and a damage resistance, but it's taken down here by the autocannon, and Marco Zin's CSM finally taken down. Plasma Devastator is taking tons of damage too. They retreat in time, I think. Yes, Smite goes in. Force Commander thinking about engaging but backs off. Plague Champion still down in the middle here. Raptors jumping in, trying to make something happen from Wildbold, forced off. Dreadnought now gets owned. Flesh over Steel and everything in the world shooting at it. There's a Melter Bomb as well for good measure, and the Power Fist takes it down. The Dreadnought didn't even get to engage. They need a bunch of Blast Masters, I think. They have 2 jump squads to deal with. There's Assault Marines jumping in from Sneakus Peekus. Stone Guard Veterans now on the field for max power. These guys are awesome. Blood Crusher moving in from Caeltos, looking for a cheap way to deal with this turret, and he's going after it now. Something's being dropped though, Terminators I would think. Yes, these are max powers, gone for the range variety, Storm Bolters and Power Fists. 49 390, it's a 1-to-1 cap. What Vanguard Veterans are taking mid. We have Blastmaster Noise Marines. Where are the rest of them? They're all the way down here, for some reason strangely split up. Turns them into a setup team, artillery. And they need a whole bunch of them, I think. All they need to do is avoid the Vanguard and Assault Marines. Easier said than done, of course. Get 3 or 4 Blastmasters, try and protect them. Here we see the first shot against those scouts, big hit. Level 3 scouts though do not lose a model, now they do. Other 2 members of the Blastmasters are still very very split up, and Space Marines just camping on the central VP. Something happening on the east side. Blood Crusher trying to be annoying and hit power. Very very low on health, and here comes the Venerable trying to cut it off. Can't quite make it there. Seems to get stuck. Here is Malignant Blinders from the Chaos Lord. An excellent thing to use against an entrenched position. Was that Rod of Warpfire? I think it was. No, that was Tome of Subjugation on the Plasma Cannon Devastators, and they got shot to death by their own Marines. Chaos Lord has the Lightning Claws, also has Demonic Visage. And here's a Orbital Bombardment from the Space Marines. Not sure who let it off. I think Dark Riku. This thing is so strong now, has a huge range, and now deals explosive damage, I think, which is overall better. And look at the damage it put out there. Ouch. Just as the Chaos Forces were trying to push, big Orbital Bombardment goes down. Really nice use of Thermal Subjugation though there to take out those Plasma Devs. Plague Champion level 2, back to his feet. Dark Riku now getting a Predator. Sneakus Peekus has some Vanguard veterans of his own upgrading. Those Assault Marines upgraded them very late though. Chaos Predator on the way for Wild Bold. 13386, looking very, very dire for the Chaos forces. Just unable to break through the middle. That turret is still there. So is this Whirlwind. Level 3 Whirlwind right now. Force Commander's level 7. Techmarine level 5 has Orbs of the Omnissiah. Chaos forces unable to get anything really nasty out in tier 3. But look at this. Chaos get a 2-to-1 taking Space Marines natural. Very sluggish to react. Not the quickest faction around. Looks like Sneakus Peekus might be thinking about pushing down the west side. Here are some heretics with touch of Nurgle on them. Don't think it's gonna help him versus all of this stuff though. And he's gonna lose his squad if he's not careful. Boris. They retreat. Vanguard could jump after them, but it's all kicking off in the middle again. Venerable Dreadnought going after this Chaos Lord. And takes him down. No, guess what? Yes, he does go down by the Flamer, I think. The wrist-mounted Flamer of the Venerable took him down. Have a Predator in the middle. Raptors jumping into certain death and taken down. Just desperation now, trying to make something happen. And there is the game. A 2-to-1 cap sealing it for the Space Marines. This was a Khorne Shrine Arc. Was close early on, but once Space Marines took middle, put up that relay beacon and that turret, they even replaced the relay beacon here. Very, very difficult for the Chaos forces to push through. Perhaps should have focused the flanks a lot more, but that's much easier said than done. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it, and thanks to all the players who took part.